Hello, I'm Livy of the Shattered Love Collective, and this is our first video. I'm a little nervous about how to start this, so I guess I'll just get into it. Um, First of all, we have to make these videos in a way to protect the identity of our host because they don't want knowing about being systems. So that's why we're going to do these videos and other visual aids, but not actually proper on-camera video. Okay, so I guess the best way to start is to explain what the collective is. Basically, it's our host, each are a system. We believe that my host, we'll call her Claire, is OSDD1B system. Do we believe that her wife, Sandy, is a DID system? Simply because Sandy has amnesia gaps and we really don't. I mean, we do from time to time, but not to the extent that would lead to an actual diagnosis of DID. We are technically undiagnosed because we don't want the stigma that goes with an actual diagnosis, but it's pretty clear what we are, and we have accepted it and are learning to live with it. So I guess the first thing to do is to give you a little bit of background on who we are. We'll do this video in two parts. I'll introduce you to the collective, just an overview, and then we'll go in and through the Sims, I'll show you my particular system. My system is the Aphrodite system, and our partner system is the Shatter system. So let's go ahead and first start with an overview of the collective. So breakdown of our systems. We have the Aphrodite system, which is Claire, Olivia, Paige Olson. I go by Livy. I have Kara, and Michelle. And the Shatter system is Sandy, Jeremy, Harold, he goes by Hal, Percy, Victoria, Lydia, Shallon, Penelope, Abigail, and Adira. And we all say her name wrong, so we call her Addie. So just a quick overview. Our hosts are Claire and Sandy, and they're married. Then there's me and Jeremy. We are both the gatekeepers of our respective systems, and we're also engaged. And I'll go a little more into our relationship later. Then we have Kara and Hal. They're both protectors, and they are married to one another. Both of them happen to be fictives based on comic book characters. They are not actually superheroes within the inner world or anything. They're just normal people, but they are based on Supergirl, and so, as you can tell by the name Kara, and then of course Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern. So they're derivatives of them, but they're certainly not the same as the characters. Then we have Michelle and Percy. They are both our persecutors, and they also happen to be best friends. They clicked the moment they met. That's it for the Aphrodite system. We're a much smaller system than the Shatter system. The Shatter system also has Victoria and Lydia. They are actually two of three twins. Triplet. Their third sister, B, is actually just an NPC. She's not an alter that we know of at this point. Tori, we don't really know exactly what her role in the system is yet. And Lydia, we thought was a protector, but she is turning out to be more of a persecutor. So we're a little unsure of their roles. Aylin is, she goes by Shay, and she's from she's one of the two younger ones in the Shatter system. She's only 17, I believe. And then there's Penelope. She goes by Penny. And she is the only little in the collective. She is 4, and we don't know if she's going to age beyond that. Then do we have Abby, Elle Winslow. Abby, she is my best friend, has been since uni. And then we have Adira, Addie. She's actually the caretaker of Shay and Penny. It used to be Lydia, but Lydia proved that she wasn't the best one. Shay and Penny are actually Bay's kids, so Tori and Lydia are their aunts, and Addie is the triplets' cousin. So she's taken care of the littles for the moment. She lives on a sheep farm in Scotland, which she is not too happy about because she's in high school. She's a teenager, and she doesn't love growing up on a sheep farm. But for Penny, she absolutely loves it. She's 4. She gets to play with sheep all day, basically. So that's just a little bit about the collective as a whole. Within the inner world, we are all from different places. Myself and Abby are from around Brisbane, Australia. I know I don't sound Australian. That's because my fiance Jeremy is from Ireland, and after being with him for almost a decade, I've picked up his accent. So I sound considerably more Irish than I do Aussie anymore. But sometimes the Oz kicks in. Then Kara's from Minnesota, and Michelle's from LA, California. Tori, Lydia, Shay, and Penny are all from England. And as I said, Addie is from Scotland. Percy, don't know where she's from, but I do know she lives in New York right now. And Hal is from Arizona. So, again, just a little overview of the entire collective. So these are the 2 systems that make up the collective. So let's go ahead and go back to my Sim screen. And that's me. So best as I can do in Sims. I do love the color green. It's the only hair I could find that has colored streaks in it, and also blonde. I do typically have blonde hair, but I also usually have some streaks in it. Blue or purple or pink or something, sometimes green. See a little about me. In the inner world, I'm very techie. I work for, I do cybersecurity, and I've been in the States for about 7 going on 8 years now. Let's see, I'm 38 years old, engaged to Jeremy, who's 40, and from Ireland. This is Jeremy. If it comes up on the screen. And that's the sim of Jeremy. Like I said, he's 40, from Ireland. He's a hairdresser. Both of us are bisexual, but we ended up together. Even though we are in a heterosexual relationship, we do enjoy being part of the LGBT community. People often mistake Jeremy for being gay because he's a hairdresser, and because he wears eyeliner and glitter and doesn't always dress the way men stereotypically dress. He just does his own thing. I mean, he's definitely all man, and he loves loves to wear guy clothes and stuff, and he definitely likes to be a boy. He does his own thing. He enjoys sports a lot. He plays hockey and basketball for fun. I play video games a lot. I'm very techie, anything with tech. I love playing video games. He'll play with me, but he enjoys physical activity too, a lot more than me, although I will go on a jog with him from time to time. So that's just a little bit about us. And here we have Kara. She's the former gatekeeper of the system. Now she's just a protector. Had a bit of some internal stuff happen within the system, so the gatekeeper role had to be altered a bit. Anyway, so here we have Kara. Like I said, she's the protector of the system, and she is part of the Aphrodite system. She is a journalist and a mother. She's the only one in the collective that is Christian, and she's very Christian. She's always trying to save other members of the collective. But she's a good person. She's a good mother, and a good wife. Her family is everything to her, and she strives to be what she calls a godly wife, whatever that means. This is Hal. He's her husband. If it'll switch. There we go. That's Hal. That's her husband. He's part of the Shatter system, and he's a pilot. Like I said, both Kara and Hal are fictive, so they have some traits similar to their comic book counterparts, but they are definitely different people. Hal and Jeremy are actually great mates. They love to play hockey together and every once in a while hit the basketball court. Kara and I have an uneasy friendship in the underworld at best because of our religious differences, but we're trying to make a go of it because our respective partners are best mates, so it's a little awkward if we're not at least on decent terms. Also within their family, Kara has 2 daughters that are NPCs. There's Kira. She's the older of the 2. She is 8 years old, and she's a figure skater. She's a lot like her mom. And then there's Cora. She's a little one. She's 6. And she's actually much closer to her stepdad, Hal, than to her actual dad. Both of the girls are Kara's from her previous marriage to a man named Grayson, who's also an NPC. Hal's accepted the girls as his own, though he thinks of them as his own, and he's very close with Cora. She wants to be the first female to play in the NHL, and he's happy to encourage that. So there we have the Jordan family. And we have our persecutor in the Aphrodite system. This is Michelle. She's a singer and an actress in LA. She doesn't love her sim that we made of her. She felt like we didn't get her face quite right, but we may alter it a bit more later. But this is generally speaking what she looks like. She lives in LA, as I mentioned before, with her boyfriend, Hunter Bradley, who is a motocross racer, and her daughter, Harley, who's 9 years old, and she has a different last name than Hunter because Michelle told her previous husband that he was Harley's father, but he wasn't. It was actually Hunter, so it's a whole big mess, but that's Michelle for you. She's a drama and a half. So anyway, that's her family. And then, of course, we have our host, Claire. This is as close as you'll get to see her. This is somewhat to what she looks like. We tried to make it look a bit like her without being too much like her. She doesn't live in the inner world. She doesn't really go any further back than Deep Kokon, or Deep Observation, rather. and I don't really want to talk too much about her personally, just to protect her. The agreement of me doing this was to keep her out of it as much as possible, so I am trying to respect her wishes. But that is her, and we'll talk a little about her, but not so much as she's not comfortable with. So anyway, that's the Aphrodite system. As I mentioned, there's a lot more because of us being a collective, and there's more in the Shatter system, which I think is going to require its own video because there's a lot of them. Really we're doing this because I wanted an outlet. Our hosts have their own YouTube channel that they do, but we're not allowed to be part of it because of being covert. And so we wanted to express ourselves, so I came up with this as an idea. I don't know who all in the collective will eventually take part in it, but hoping that it can be something to just be an expression of ourselves. We're not doctors. We're not actually technically we're not diagnosed at all. We just know what we are, and we want an outlet to express ourselves. So we can't really educate you, but we can share our experiences in both the inner and outer world. And we would love to hear from you. Feel free to comment below and let us know what you want to see on this channel. If you want stories from the inner world, if you want to know our experiences Frenton, if you want to know how we found out we're a collective, because we do share a common inner world, and we've even had experiences where certain altars can cross from one headspace to the other. So it's a unique situation that we still really don't fully understand, other than we know we're connected. So hopefully this video was a little bit of a nice introduction and not too terribly boring. If you like it, feel free to subscribe. I don't know how often we'll do these videos, but we are going to do them as frequently as possible if we have content to share. So like, comment, subscribe, and let us know what you want to see. I don't really know what this channel will become yet, but I would like it to definitely become something that lets us express ourselves. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.